Hey gamers, what's going on? Falcon here, welcome to Grind Force Gaming. Today I'm coming at you in Street Fighter Duel. I figured that we should talk about the new fighter that just dropped, and that's going to be Puppet Master Seth. Puppet Master Seth is going to be an infernal unit. He's a divination unit, not a special summon, so we'll be using our divination tickets, not the special summon tickets. So the question then is how he stacks up against the other characters or fighters in our divination tier list. And just doing a quick glance at his skills, he is primarily a damage dealer, but we'll jump right into his trials here. I'll give you a full guide to all of that. I won't go super in depth with the skills, but he has a couple important gimmicks that we should note. The big important one is something called Puppet Master. So when his HP drops below 50%, it activates a trigger skill, Puppet Master, which moves him to the rear. So wherever he is in the lineup, it will now move him to the back. Not the tag, obviously, but it'll be, behind the other fighters. And then when it's in effect, normal attacks are changed to Sonic Boom. Increase crit rate by 15, crit damage by 30%, and then there's all of these chances. 40% base chance when it's leveled up to inflict burn, shock, or bleed. So this is very interesting and creates an unusual mechanic, especially because once we get into his vehicles, for example, he's triggering Puppet Master right from the get-go, and then after triggering it with the passive skill for the first time, so the first time he drops below 50% health, the next super combo won't consume gauge. So he'll be able to fire off his super combo without interrupting the flow of your combo gauge accumulation at all. I don't think I've looked at his fighting spirit yet. What is that? 100 lightning kicks. Which skill is that? It's got to be number 2, right? Yeah. So this is, if as a damage dealer, he's gonna kind of take the role of Akuma, I think, where he's gonna be doing his super and his C2, most likely. So his fighting spirit on that C2, if the last strike hits a target with a burn, shock, or bleed effect inflicted by Seth, unleash Shoryuken once, which will strike the nearest enemy 6 times, dealing damage equal to 288% of attack in total, which is a trigger skill. Interesting. So he just gets a free trigger if the last strike hits a target that's already got a burn, shock, or bleed effect that was put on by Seth. The assist skill gains 1% effect accuracy for every attack they perform, stacks up to 40%, lasts until the battle ends. So basically just your chance to be able to put on those stacks of burn and bleed and such. So if we get to 30, when Puppet Master is in effect, each of Shoryuken strikes will inflict additional soul damage equal to 25% of this fighter's lost HP, capped at 150% of this fighter's attack. Soul damage cannot result in a crit. Very interesting. Basically what happens is he transforms into a different character once he drops below 50% health, and changes position, which is the first time we've seen something like this out of a fighter. So let's not waste any more time going through his skills. Let's jump through this into the trial guide. I'll kind of keep talking about him as we go. I always do these counterclockwise. I did already run these all the way through on my secondary account, and there weren't really any that were super difficult, but there were a couple that I had to retry once or twice, so I figured I'd get a guide up here for us. We want to be trying out new Puppet Master Seth's Super and C2. I probably won't bother with his C1 in this video. It's unlikely that that's going to be used in general, and I'll do these in auto. I know most of you are usually auto players. For you manual players, if you have B Zangief, this will be super easy. Any interrupter, he's just barely going to pull it off. But you see, he pulled it off because of that Puppet Master thing that goes into effect when he starts, or when he drops below 50%. So that wasn't, the cleanest win, but it got us there. Next one up. So if you do have B Zangief, you manual players, just put B Zangief in there, interrupt their combos, it'll be an easy win. But for you auto players, I'm going to actually I'll keep them in there for speed. Since we're focusing all on Puppet Master Seth, I just want his attacks to be firing off as much as possible so we can get a feel for him. So here he goes. Pretty sure this is exactly the team I had in the secondary account. It's going very well. I don't think we've activated Puppet Master yet, so we don't even see that come into play on this fight. Oh, there it goes. So now his normal attacks turn into, I think it's called Sonic Boom, which is weird because that's Guile's thing, but in any case, I'm pretty sure it's Sonic Boom. His normal attacks become that. So he starts doing all kinds of extra damage. Oh, Vega. They never put normal Vega in here. Pretty sure this is what I did to win, though. Again, for all of these, I'm doing his super in C2 as much so that I can watch how he functions as just to have him as my DPS. Seems like it's a good idea to, well, it's always a good idea to have him on a fast team, have anyone on a fast team. But in particular, if you can get him to fire these off faster, once he reaches that Puppet Master mode, he'll be able to fire it off faster. He gets that free combo chain that he can start on the first one, if he has all 6 vehicles. As far as where he's going to sit, you know, on our tier list, for example, it's difficult to say. I could see this gimmick being very valuable, though, like on a 4th or 5th team PvE or boss fight, possibly even a third team, you know, HWA situation. Go extra tanky on this, I guess. I would guess he will kind of end up somewhere, I don't know, of course, but I speculate that he may end up somewhere along the lines of Chief Viper, where he's going to be a great damage dealer. He's not going to necessarily be a game-changing unit. Wow, that was really effective, though. Barely got touched. Maybe that was just an easy team to fight against. So it will be interesting to see how the gimmick part of it comes into play, because he will ordinarily be kind of mid-range. There are some units that'll pop in front of him, Sagat there, and Bison for sure will also. In any case, wherever he sits in your lineup, once Puppet Master's activated, he's going to always go to that back line. And then he's going to start doing that much more damage. The one thing that has me a little apprehensive is that when he activates his Puppet Master, most of his skills still bring him forward into the fray. So I could see this potentially being an issue where, yeah, he's gone to the back, but if he's still jumping to the front when he has 0 health, he's gonna go down. So it'll be a task of keeping him alive, so finding the right team of sustain and probably especially shields. I think shields would be fantastic. Like Abel will be, I think, a perfect pair with this guy. But at this point, obviously too soon to say. Who knows? Here I'm not even using Abel's skill, although we'll try that if I fail. So very interesting unit. As a divination unit, you know, he's not up to the standards of the best SS fighters, which is to be expected. But I think he's kind of the upper mid end of the divination units that we have now. But again, we'll have to see how he plays out once we get into the actual, you know, people have him built up, and we can see how he performs in boss fights and especially PvP. I think that's what most people are going to be interested in. And we won't know how that's going to function until he actually gets on the field and we see what he can do. So there you go, guys. That was pretty quick and simple. That gives you the 5 divination tickets. If you want to start pulling for this guy, this Puppet Master Seth, I think he's pretty cool. I don't think it would be a bad choice necessarily. If you're unsure of who to pick before him, make sure you check out our divination tier list, divination unit tier list. Datscat and I just put that together. We also have a special summon tier list and legendary fighter tier list that we just put out, and you guys have responded really well to those, so thanks for your support on that. And that should do it for the trial guide. That gets a little bit of information to you about the new Puppet Master Seth. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure to give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you like the content we're putting out, and let me know down in the comments what you think about Puppet Master Seth. I'll also put a link down in the Discord. Make sure you join that. You can chat with me, Nova, JB, and Datscat anytime. We'd love to chat with you about this game and all the other games we cover. Hope to see you there. Until next time, I'm Falcon. Out.